You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast, delivering the knowledge in all things fitness business. We help gym owners win. Here are your hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Engston.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, and in studio today we have our co-host, my co-host, Randy, the governor of guidance, Engston. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how we doing today?
Good.
Ooh, back in the saddle.
That is absolutely correct. We're back in the saddle. Had a little bit of a birthday, kind of a bigger birthday of the numbers of birthdays that you would have. This is kind of one of those milestone birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
I am 21 years old.
Absolutely.
Didn't.
A week and a half ago, we drank a bottle of whiskey last week.
Oh, yeah.
He lied. He's not 21.
So
He's 30.
So hopefully you guys have listened to podcast episode 20 with our friend and guest Rick Mayo. That was an absolute blast. We had our first guest on the show, and it was fitting because Rick has been such an influence, on my life and my career, and he's a good friend, and he just happened to be here, and it just made a lot of sense. But we've got a ton of good feedback.
Absolutely.
And I'm starting to search out some more guests to bring on because it's always, I'm sure you guys love hearing our voices all the time. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's why they're here.
That's why they're here. But, if we can bring in some outsiders, some people even outside the industry in different niches, I think that'll do a lot for everybody. And there's always stuff to learn, and we're constantly learning.
Constantly.
So bringing a guest on, is great. The thing about the way our podcast is set up is you have to be in town. So we have the studio, and we're not really set up to do the Zoom kind of virtual interviews and stuff like that. I think we lose sound quality quite a bit, and I'd rather keep this nice and clean and crisp. And, so if you're in the Arizona area, give me a holler, and we can maybe have you on the show. But today we've got a good one because this is something that just came up on a call the other day with one of our coaching clients, and we're going to start working to fix it. But I think if he had this issue, I think some of our listeners might have the same issue, and that was his pricing model was all over the place. He just had a ton of different options for different ways to train with him and different programs they can do. And just listening to hear him talk, and I told him this on the call, so this isn't like a secret or anything, that it's like, hey, man, we got to simplify this because I can tell you that the people that are coming in to see you, they're a little confused.
Sure.
And let me give you an example. Like, he does one-on-one, he does small group, he does large group, which is great. But then within each layer, it was twice a week, 3 times a week, unlimited. Okay. And then within that, there was 30-minute, 45-minute, 60-minute sessions. I was like, whoa, that's just too much. And I think the key here is that we got to simplify things, make it easy for somebody to make decisions.
Absolutely. So he's a Cheesecake Factory of personal training.
Yeah, big menu.
Big giant menu. Well, to play into that, and the reason I brought up Cheesecake Factory is I know in that industry, they have done the studies on the number of options available versus the confusion and the items that you go to and so forth. So I don't know the statistics. That's something that maybe we could bring up in a future show. But again, there is a science behind solidifying your key target products to help both you have a game plan as well as make the ease of the consumer's choice.
Okay, so Cheesecake Factory, you're saying, I mean, obviously we know that their menu's huge, so they're sticking with that play.
I would imagine that that's kind of their thing. You know, we talk about you claim it, you own it. That's what they're known for.
Yeah,
they're known for giant menu, massive selection. So they kind of capitalize on that niche. But.
Okay. I can tell you from firsthand experience at the closing table, at the consultation, if you will, speaking to, a client, Mrs. Johnson's in, she wants help, she's confused, she's eager, but she doesn't know what to choose. If I lay out, hey, you can do this plan with this many sessions, but actually you also have this available, and then if we want to do 30 minutes, we can do this. It's too much. They don't know anyway. So what I would recommend is give, as the person running the consultation, I really like the prescriptive close. And let me explain what the prescriptive close means. And I don't know if I just made that up, but something we do here. So we've got our normal packages, right? And I say packages, everything's done in time, not 10 sessions. If you're doing 10 sessions, 20 sessions, 40 sessions with discounts, I think you need to listen to this podcast. I think we need to get away from that. for a lot of reasons. We'll even talk about it in this episode. But for instance, here, I'll listen, or Zach will listen to the problems that the person's having. And what we would say, when it's time to present the offer, listen, Mrs. Johnson, I recommend that you do 3 times a week small group training with us. And I also think and it'd be in your best interest to put you on a meal plan. Based on what you've told me, and these are your goals, I think we can get you there in 8 months, 10 months, a year from now. And this is what you should do. That's one way. That would something I would call the prescriptive close. I'm telling you what I recommend. As if I'm the doctor and you're coming to see me for a checkup, this is, obviously the doctor's going to give you pills and prescriptions to take, but I recommend you take this pill 3 times a week and we'll retest you in 2 months. It's the same principle at the training level. Based on what you've told me and your current goals and how you move and where you're at today, I recommend that you train with us 3 times a week and get on this nutrition plan as well as take these 3 supplements.
I think that's smart because, excuse me, something that we speak to a lot is positioning yourself as the expert in the area.
Right.
If people are walking into your facility to sit down with your team and train with you, potentially, that's what they're there for. They are there because you are the answer to their problem, or your training is the solution to their problem. If you sit down and now you're like, breaking out these 500 options
and letting them choose.
Exactly. You've now discredited some of your authority. You know what I mean? I think that it muddies the water a little bit. It doesn't make you sound as assertive that you have the answer to their goals, because now you're giving them 500 options for their goals.
Yeah. And the truth is, they don't really know themselves, especially if they haven't trained in a facility such as yours or ours. They need to be told what to do, and that's why they're coming to you. They have a problem. They haven't been able to solve it. They came to you to find that solution. Now tell them what they need to do. That's the prescriptive. This is what I recommend. Now another way to do that is, here's our 3 options. Our best clients do this one, and you circle the one. That's another way. If you don't want to get into like prescriptive closes, you can say, hey, our best clients do this one, unlimited.
Sure.
Oh, I want to be a best client.
Yeah, naturally.
Let me do that one. So, yeah, absolutely. You want to tell them instead of ask them, and it goes a long way to like you said, that you're the expert, you're the doctor. And I'll go one step further, even backing up to when they come into your facility. We actually have something called the doctor office visit close. Again, we're coming up with these names, but this is actually what we talk about internally here. And so our fitness director does all of our consultations. Zach, you've heard me talk about him. He's in the other room right now doing a consultation. We call it a starting point. You can call it whatever you want, strategy session, success meeting, fitness goal plan, whatever it is. It's a consultation. It's a sales appointment, let's be honest. But we're trying to put them into place. So our doctor visit close, think about when you go to the doctor. You go to the doctor, you check in at the front desk, fill out some paperwork, maybe give them your insurance card, and you sit and wait in a waiting room. Now, a lot of times that's because the doctor's behind.
Sure.
But you're at you're on their timeline.
At their will.
Now, it pisses me off, but what it does is it almost frames the situation is they're better than you. I mean, in a way, like you're going to see them and you're going to have to wait for them. If you want the fix, you got to wait for the doctor to come get you.
Yep.
So we do something similar, a little bit on purpose. Sometimes we're busy, but this is how it looks. They come in, they meet with the front desk. It could be Mike, could be anybody up there. We have them fill out a waiver. And on the waiver, we ask them some questions that we're going to use in the consultation. How long have you been trying to reach your goals? What are your goals on a scale of 1 to 10? How committed are you? Realistically in a week, how much can you commit to your fitness? $50, $100 a week or whatever it is, and some other things. Then the front desk person will walk them around, show them around the gym a little bit, kind of get them used to it, and then have them sit and wait for Zach to come out and greet them. Sometimes they'll even put them on the in-body, almost like when you go to the doctor, get your blood pressure checked before you see the doctor. Very, very similar. At least we have that as we can go over that in the consultation. Then then Zach will come out and meet with them, and now they're, the frame is set. He's the doctor, and they shall listen to what he has to say. Does it work? Well, yeah, our closing rates fairly well. I mean, we do fairly well, but when we do that particular play, when there is somebody up front, when the timing's right, we always close that client.
Sure. It's almost like an unspoken edification process.
There you go.
You know what I mean? You're waiting for that authoritative figure to step in and fulfill, that next role, the reason that they're there. You're getting all of the, the little checkups or the blood pressure check and all those things out of the way with, somebody else as the expert prepares for the consultation.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it works pretty well. So, hey guys, throw that one into your mix. If you guys are having trouble selling or closing deals, try it. Again, it's a positioning, it's a framing, it's a, the doctor visit close. That's kind of what we call it. But at the end of the day, you listen to the client's problems. You present your solution and you recommend and you prescribe what they should be doing.
And to elaborate on that, it's not intentional. You're not making them sit there and wait for a period of time. It's not extended to where you're dragging out and wasting somebody's time. No. There is a process that is happening, throughout this. It's a system that's strategic. You guys have discussed this. This isn't something that you wing. It's not different from consultation to consultation. This is a set system that everybody goes through. It's just the process, at play.
Right.
And it's written, this is something your entire team is aware of.
Yep. And Zach loves it when we do that, and it nails it. He's set up for success. They're listening to what he has to say.
Absolutely.
So, okay, that's one thing I wanted to talk about, making sure your pricing options are limited enough to where it makes sense. Number two, that you're prescribing the solution. You're not letting someone, hey, which one do you want to do? Because then it lowers your authoritative value, right? All that stuff. And being a gym owner, being a trainer, in order for that person to get to their goal in a set amount of time, they're going to have to do X amount of sessions with you. They need to come in weekly. They need to be on a meal plan. They need to be taking supplements. They need to do stretch therapy or massage therapy, recovery sessions. Tell them that's what they need. Don't beat around the bush about it.
Here's something that I know you guys do differently than other facilities. Transparency.
Okay.
Somebody comes in for a trial. What are they exposed to? They're not necessarily signing up for that membership or anything yet, right? Their first experience in the facility. How does that consultation go?
Well, same process. We do the same process, and a lot of times, the first time somebody comes in, we're selling them into a trial first. Because a lot of times people need to feel it, experience it,
try
right?
Before they buy.
And a lot of times that's the offer they're coming in off the street, and they know about it, so that's what they're going to go into to begin with. Now, we treat them like a regular client. We want them to feel like they're a part of this facility. I want them to know what to expect when they do sign an annual agreement or whatever that is going to be. We give them everything that we have to offer. Assuming a client can go into large group team training, we're going to give them that. Everybody gets 2 small group training sessions a week. It's usually a 14-day period. Within 14 days, they know if they're going to want to stay or not.
Absolutely.
And they're going to see some type of results. They might be a little sore. They might feel better or whatever these things are. But we take them through the whole process so they know this is what I'm signing up for and this is what I can expect. And we try to put them with different coaches at different times so they know that's the system that we run here. That's what they're going to get. We share with the prices up front. Like, this is what you're going to go into. These are what we have available, and then when we meet with them again, all right, this is what I recommend you do. Boom.
The reason I like that is you're not leaving anything for that shock value, right? One of the concerns when somebody comes in for a trial, or let's say it's a 7-day free trial or a 14-day free trial, is that conversion into membership could be sticker shock. The last thing you want to do as a fitness facility is train somebody for 14 days. Good, quality time. They're with a trainer. They're getting some sort of personal training on some level. And then that client's not a fit for your business at the end of those 14 days.
Okay.
Part of that onboarding should be either a disqualification process, or that client needs to know everything that they're going to be moving into before they go and do 14 days of that trial.
Yep.
So that transparency is also making sure that client is a fit for you as much as you're a fit for them.
Yeah, and that brings up a really good point, because one of the big things that we coach our clients on is something we call the Netflix close, the Netflix play. Everybody's heard of Netflix before, and just kind of, if you haven't heard of Netflix, really all it is, it's a trial where you put your credit card down and you have, I think it's 30 days to use the service, and if you don't cancel, it just starts a membership.
Exactly.
That's how most everybody starts with Netflix. You get a free month. But in order to start the free month, you put your credit card in. And it's very common in software. Software, membership trials, a lot of stuff online is done this way. What we do and what we coach our clients on is something called the Netflix play. So if you're going to give them 14 days for free or 7 days for free, we ask them to commit to a membership on day one. They have 14 days or 7 days to cancel that at any point, no questions asked, but we want to earn their business over the 14 days. Now, we don't want somebody to start that process without knowing what the membership's going to be. So before they even get to the place where they're coming in, we have a phone call consultation where we try to disqualify them. We tell them what our prices are. We tell them how the process works, just like Netflix. If they feel good about that enough to schedule, we book them. When they show up, we do that same process again. Here's how it works, Randy. We ask that all of our clients commit to one of these 3 memberships. I recommend this one. You have 14 days to try us out. We want to earn your business, and at any point you feel this is not a good fit for you, just let me know and I'll cancel your agreement. That's the Netflix close, and it works really, really well. 2 things happen. Number one, if they do the 14 days, they're signing up.
Absolutely.
If they're not going to sign up, they don't show up to their very first session. Guess what? Nothing's lost.
Yeah.
Because we haven't trained them for 14 days. Very rarely, 1 out of 20, 30 will do all 14 days, take advantage of everything we have to offer, and then get to the end and be like, no, I can't afford it.
And let's speak to that individual. That's the same person that's going to be in your business doing the same thing regardless of how you frame it, regardless of how you make it happen. There is that population that's just always doing it. It's the Grouponers that just jump from trial to trial to trial, and they don't care what hoops they have to jump through to get the free service. They're going to do it anyways. That's inevitable. The reason that I love this, for our facility, and this is something we preach with all of our clients as well, is you're taking that work off the plate for those tire kickers. That is a massive, guys. It doesn't matter how many trials you put through your business if your memberships aren't growing. So if you're marketing for the purpose of growing your membership base, a process like this is going to help you do so. If you don't have anything like this in play, you have to understand you're marketing for trials. You're not actually going after that perfect avatar client necessarily.
Yeah. So one of the reasons this play works so well is because it's advertised as free. And anytime you have something's for free online, you're going to get a ton of leads. Now, those leads are not necessarily quality leads. They're just names and numbers on a sheet, which is fine. But the key here is that we're disqualifying them before they show up and waste your time. You tell them on the phone, this is how it works. Will that work for you? Great. Yes, that does work. You schedule an appointment. They get to the appointment. Here's how it works. Here's our pricing. Again, does that work for you? No, it doesn't? Okay. Well, thanks for your time. Yes, great. Now it's the time for the 7 or 14 days or 30 or whatever the heck you guys are doing. And if they couldn't tell you no, because they just couldn't tell you no, because a lot of people just can't do it, they're not showing up for their first appointment and they cancel before they even show up, which is great. I'm glad when somebody does that, because we're not wasting any time and we're not expecting anything from them.
Yeah, anybody in sales appreciates a no versus being dragged along. I mean, anybody.
And guys, if you have questions or if you need help with your sales process, we have a 4-week sales training that we have put together. Kelly does run that. We have an online portal. You get access through our GPS portal. And basically, we're teaching you how to run your KPIs. We give you scripts. We tell you how to do phone consultations and disqualifications. We talk about this Netflix play a little bit, and how to convert consultations into members, into trials, into members after the trial. So all different styles, because every gym's a little different. And we have our process, and it works well. If you have interest in that, you need help, and your team needs help, we'll train your team. We'll train you. I guess schedule a call at pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. Just book a time. Typically Kelly or you, Randy, will take those calls, and we tell you all about that sales training, because this is a big gap in our industry. Training clients is one thing, converting clients is another thing, and marketing is the third thing. So those are all pieces to the puzzle. If you need help with that, we have that 4-week sales training. It's a great value. We do weekly calls. We do some Kelly does some role-playing stuff. Yep, gets her scripts dialed in. So check that out if you guys are interested in that. But yeah, so going back to our topic, make it easy for somebody to give you money.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
So here's something that happens sometimes. a lot of times is somebody wants to pay in full, or somebody wants to pay weekly instead of monthly, and you can't accommodate it for whatever reason. Well, that's our problem. If somebody's willing to you got to a point where like, hey, can I just pay weekly instead of monthly?
Yes.
You say no.
You're not a business.
Take the money, guys. Take the money. Accommodate it. We know how many consolations or whatever agreements have we made with just gym owner clients that just couldn't do the payment today in full or whatever it is. We'll break it up or do half now, 30 days later. There's all different ways, but accommodate your clients, because obviously not everybody's got the money up front. You can work. You guys should be able to work with them. Now, if they want to pay you in a check, cool, take it. If they want to pay you in a credit card, cool. Amex, fine. Cash, cool, that works. Voucher, statement, all right, we can do that. Bitcoin, sure, let's do it. Gold bullion,
rubles.
We'll take it. It's all money. Just make it easy for them to do transactions with you. That being said, let's go really quick into the digital marketing world, okay? And this comes up a lot because a lot of people use MindBody, and they want to take the payment through MindBody online through a funnel, through a marketing campaign. And that's a huge mistake, because if anybody knows anything about MindBody, in order for them to take money, you have to set up an account. Unfortunately, you have to create a user account, and then it goes into the next step. Set up Stripe, set up ClickFunnels with Stripe, or something really simple to let people give you some money up front, so you're not having to jump through hoops, because you're just going to lose people at every step. So that's something they call reduce the friction to sale. That's one thing that the MindBody users have a challenge. So you're going to have to use a different system to take the money sometimes. And we set these up all the time for MindBody users, and obviously we got to do it a different way. But that's something that comes up quite a bit.
But there is a way. What about the price points themselves regarding specific levels of service?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, great point. So a couple things to note here. The 80-20 rule is in play a lot of times in every single business. And what that 80-20 rule says is 20% of your clients will pay 80% of the revenue. Now, typically that's the highest paying clients, even though there's 20% of your 100, but they're paying the most. It's very, very common here. So something to think about, I need you guys to analyze data and see what membership levels and how many people are at what level paying at what price point. And you'll find really quickly your highest price point people are paying 80% of the revenue versus your lowest. That being said, it doesn't mean you should get rid of the lowest. So when we're talking about price points here, you're going to have some people that can pay a lot and some people that can't pay a lot. I recommend somewhere around $100, $50 to $100 increments at each particular level. And let's just say, for example, unlimited team training is $150.
Okay.
The next level should be like $199. And maybe that gives them 1 time a week small group training and unlimited team training. That's for another. So we're not selling the $199, we're selling the difference. We're selling it for just $50 more or just $100 more. You're going to get everything here plus this. And that makes it really easy. And so when you have these little like $50 to $100 price jumps, they can justify it. And when you're presenting the sale, you're presenting the delta. We call the delta, the difference between the prices. Hey, just another $100 more, you can get all of this. Look at that. Hey, you know what? If you want to feel like that, for just another $50 more than that, you can get this. Instead of selling the price at what it is, you're selling the delta.
Yeah, you're coming to them at their level where they're kind of already comfortable with the base package or whatever that they're showing interest at, and then from there, it's a small gap. It's just that difference. So it's a framing. It's you're not drawing attention to that giant, final number.
$500 a month.
You're just making it smaller, more manageable, understandable increments and increases.
And again,
smart.
Yeah. So we like these little $50 to $100 price jumps between our pricing levels. So maybe it's twice a week for $299, and then 3 times a week is $349, $50. Hey, for just $50 more, you get another session every week forever. They like that, and it seems to go well. Obviously, there's a price point that people can pay. I mean, that's their threshold, and you're going to end up there anyway. But it's easy to get somebody up to the next level if it's just X amount of dollars more.
Cool. One more thing.
What's that?
The value associated. How about accountability when it comes to pricing? Your clients, something we know based on data, is the fact that some of your highest tiered
3%, 7%.
Yeah, right back to it.
Yep.
I love those stats. There is something to be said about the accountability that comes with paying a certain percentage or a certain price point.
Yep.
The same reason that free doesn't equate to your avatar client every time.
Mm-hmm.
Clients don't value free. They're not necessarily showing up for every one of those free workouts. Having a paid trial gets them skin in the game. They're going to be more invested in a paid trial than somebody is on a free trial. It's just human nature. When it comes to your price points on training as well, I think there's something to be said about that as well. We've had the conversation with some of our private clients about raising their pricing. Even some of our coaching or our marketing, clients that we've had in the past that are running very, very low, membership price points because it's let me appeal to everybody.
Right.
But it's a difficult thing because the people don't have that same level of desire, accountability. They're not holding themselves to the fact that they're going to be there training because their session is $10 or $15.
Yeah.
If somebody's paying 50, 60, 70, I mean, there's personal training out there for
$200.
Yeah. $200 a session. Those people are showing up for those sessions.
Yeah, they're not missing. They're not no showing.
Exactly.
So what I think you're trying to get at is if you guys heard episode 20, me and Rick went back and forth, and our numbers were like within 0.2 months of each other. It was like exactly the same in two different markets, completely opposite sides of the country. What we found, if you want to go back and listen to it, but if what we found was the clients that pay the most stay the longest. Period. And we had some thresholds, and so for instance, here at our club, the clients that paid $399 and more, like $499, $599, whatever those price points were, above $400, they stayed on average 36 months with us on average. Now there's some that have stayed much longer, etc., but on the average 36 months. Well, that's great, Tim.
Absolutely.
But what about everybody else? Well, we had another threshold, $199 or $149 and under. No, it's $199 and under, stayed on average 9.8 months. So, okay, there's your 80-20 rule, by the way. And so would I rather have less clients just staying for like 3 years plus, or do I want to keep this revolving door, these lower paying clients doing our boot camps and our team training level? And again, there's a lot to be said about that as far as the accountability and with the attention they get in the club. But yes, the price point has everything to do with it. The ones that pay the most pay attention the most.
Absolutely.
And so I'll leave you guys with that. If you guys want to schedule a call, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. Check us out there. Until next time, keep changing lives. Bye.